Hey, Jerry Fetta here, CEO and founder of Wealth Dynamics, with another weekly wealth walk where I tell you what I am doing in my own wealth building this week. Stay tuned. I've got some cool updates for you. All right, welcome back to another weekly wealth walk with Jerry Fetta here. So I want to give you guys my update this week, and the purpose of these wealth walks is to show you guys I am walking the walk, right? I'm doing the things that I teach. I can't say that about everybody online, but I know for sure I can show you here's what I'm doing, right? Because I'm in this with you. It's one thing to be, like Warren Buffett has this quote. He says that Wall Street is the only place where people drive a Rolls Royce to go and get advice from somebody that took the subway. Right? And so part of what's wrong with the wealth building industry, the investing industry, the financial industry, is that those that are giving advice, those who are giving education, those who are in those positions of being the professional, right? The one that's supposed to know what they're doing, they're not practicing what they preach, right? They're teaching you how to build wealth. They've never been wealthy. Here's the kicker, right? Some guy, some gal is going to teach you how to build a retirement plan, right? They've never retired. They're teaching you to do something that they have never actually done before, right? And so at best, they can tell you what they've learned. They can tell you what they've observed other people do. And I'm not telling you that nobody has any expertise because they haven't firsthand done something, but I am saying those who are teaching something they've done will always be more valuable to you than those who are just teaching theories and ideas. Look what just arrived. I just got my copy of the Blueprint to Financial Freedom. Hey, enjoy the rest of the content. I don't want to interrupt you too long, but if you go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo or click the link in the description, you can get your copy now. Right? What actually works, okay? So what I want to do this week is I actually want to give you guys an update on the Blueprint to Financial Freedom. Right? And if you've been following me for any period of time, you're familiar with the Blueprint to Financial Freedom. You know that this is my book. Right? And so this is also part of what we educate clients and members on when they work with us is, okay, good, you read the book. Let's get you financially trained so you really know how to build wealth using a system like this. And then let's also help you through the system, right? So I'm going to share my screen. I want to go over this and just share with you guys what this looks like, right? So this is the Blueprint to Financial Freedom, or the B2F. And what this is a plan, a blueprint to build financial freedom, right? Financial freedom is something you can build more and more and more of. So that's the first key here, is to realize that it's not a one-time deal, right? So part of what we do on this is, you can look at this. I want to actually go from backwards at the very end, right, to the very first steps, okay? Now, a few of the rules on this: you would never skip steps. You would always plan your next step, right? Like, imagine you're taking a road trip across the country and you don't know where your next gas station is. You don't know where your next destination is. It's like, cool, I'm driving from Florida to Seattle, right? And I don't know what's next. I don't have a schedule. I don't have a plan. I don't have a roadmap of any sort. Okay, what's the likelihood that you're going to get to Seattle? Now, I'm not telling you you might not have a fun and interesting time on the drive, but we're not walking through this wealth thing as, I'm here to just explore and see the sights, and I don't care if I ever get there. No, my clients and my members, we want to get there, right? We want it to be a sure thing in this life, not, I'm open-minded, and I'm a little flower hippie, and, let me just, experience all of the distraction that's around me and take it all in and never actually get to the end result. So the very end of this would be investing in vetted private equity and venture capital opportunities. Now, here's the funny thing, right? This is what a lot of people ask me about, right? When we get people that tune in on social media, they inquire with our company and they're like, man, how do I do private investment opportunities? How do I invest in private equity? How do I do venture capital? How do I do the closed door, top 1% access deals? How do I do those, right? That is literally one of the very last things you'll do. And this is a mistake that we make because we watch Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Grant Cardone and these billionaires on social media who have already done all of the steps I'm going to show you today. So they're finished. They're done. They're past step 21 here. Okay, so of course they're doing venture capital. Of course they're doing private deals. They're already there. They're at the finish line. Okay, if you're not at the finish line, it's not real for you to say, that's the next thing I want to do, right? If you've got a bunch of credit card debt, your goal should be to get rid of that. If you've never invested before, your first plan, your first target should be to do the first investment, right? And it's something we progressively do. So you would basically say, okay, good, I'm here at this point. Now, the other thing I want to go off of, this is tied to your goal and vision for your life, right? Why do you want to build wealth? What will that allow you to do? What effect will that make on your friends, your family, your loved ones, yourself, the world around you, your community? What's the positive impact there? Because that's the real vision. And what does all of that look like? Okay, because if your goal is just to amass money, I'm really not interested in helping you. My vision is that the majority of wealth is controlled by good people who use that wealth to make the world a better place. Period. So if I'm not working with someone that's a good person, whose vision or goal in some way, shape, or form is to build wealth so they can use it to make the world a better place, the world would include you and your family. You live on this planet, you live in this world. So don't worry about, oh, I have to give it all away. No, you'll take care of yourself. You'll take care of your kids. You'll take care of your spouse. That's all going to happen, right? But it's once you've done that, do you continue consuming, or do you start to share it, and do you start to distribute it, and do you start to do what Andrew Carnegie talks about in The Gospel of Wealth? Right? The social responsibility that comes with being a wealthy person. Okay, so I'm going to be honest with you guys. I am not here. I don't invest in private equity and venture capital opportunities. Okay, that's not where I'm at right now. Now, step number 20 right before this would be to qualify to start your own family office. I'm also not there. Right? I don't use a family office right now. I use bits and pieces, but I'm not ready yet for a family office. Okay, now the reason I'm not there yet is because to get there, you would first have to achieve a $10 million net worth. You speak to anyone in the family office space, anyone in the venture capital, private equity space, anyone that is doing it above board, that's going to be their requirement. Right? And you can go find sketchy deals. I'm not telling you can't go find sketchy deals done under the table where people are like, oh, you don't even need to be accredited, bro. That's fine. That's like buying your medicine under the bridge. If you want to buy your medicine under the bridge instead of going to a doctor, by all means, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. I won't join you. I won't show you how to do it. I won't encourage you while it's happening. I won't tell other people to follow in your footsteps. But if you want to do that, you go ahead, right? Now, the next step here, achieve 5 million net worth by repeating steps 13 through 17. So for me personally, this is the step that I'm on right now. Okay. Now, steps number 3 through 17, this is a repeating step by step, meaning you cycle through it and then you do it again and then you do it again. The myth is that wealth is built through new and unusual and interesting things. It's not. You repeat the same stuff over and over and over until you graduate to the next level of the game. There's not a game on earth where you play once and all of a sudden you're the champion and you get to go play a different game. No, you need to keep winning. You need to get good. You need to play the whole thing out till you win and actually achieve the next level. Okay? Prior to this step, invest in accredited only opportunities, right? So I am here. I can do these. I can check this box off. This week, I'm actually investing in a life settlement portfolio, right? I'll double my money on the death benefits over the next 7 to 10 years. And it's based on just that person's lifespan and the solvency of the insurance companies we're working with. Okay, I love that. I don't have to be tied to the stock market, the interest rates, the economy. None of that stuff matters. It's a non-correlating asset. But life settlement investing is open for accredited investors only. Okay, now that is being done. I'm investing in accredited only opportunities because I've already achieved financial independence. Right, I've already achieved financial independence. Financial independence means that my passive income exceeds my saving, my giving, my expenses, my taxes, as you see here. Okay, so that is the thing is, okay, I need to get there first before I get into accredited only opportunities. And some people will talk to me and they'll say, Jerry, I'm accredited already, which just means you have $1 million net worth. Good for you. That is a good milestone, right? But it's not going to change anything. You see what I mean? Your goal is to build passive income that exceeds generosity, expenses, taxes, and savings. So if you don't have that, your passive income is still coming from the investments you've been doing, or maybe you have no passive income, we don't need to go look at accredited investments right now. Let's build up the passive income. If you've already got it, let's continue doing the thing that's been working for you. Don't change it. That's another mistake. Continue doing that until you are financially independent, right? Along the way, you would achieve accredited investor status. And here's why, because $1 million net worth is not enough for you to be financially independent. So you should expect that you will become an accredited investor prior to becoming financially independent. And that means for another 1 or 2 or 3 million, depending on who you are and what your quality of life would be, you're going to wait another 1 or 2 or 3 million to actually build up the passive income that you need so that you are financially independent before you ever start doing the accredited deals. Right? It's like saying because you're 18, now you can get married, so tomorrow you start like getting down on one knee in front of every woman you meet. No. Like you continue doing what you've been doing, earn some income, get stable, right? Do the things that you need to do. Then and only then would you be like, okay, good, let's get married now. You would date, you would court them, you would engage, you'd be all of these things first, right? That's my point. Prior to being a millionaire, you would be a sophisticated investor. That's a $250,000 net worth. Again, you're just repeating steps through number 13 here. Prior to being a sophisticated investor, you would achieve the 40% club. 40% club means that you save 40% of your pre-tax income. Okay? That is part of building wealth. So you would continue, again, 3 through 12. So I want to show you what 3 through 12 are. 3, figure out what's your passive income number. You're doing what we call the Big 3 challenge. You're increasing your financial training levels, your financial IQ. You're increasing the income. You're saving more money. You're putting that into your sacred accounts. You're updating your progress. You're doing your estate plan. You're making positive spreads on your sacred account loans. You're opening more of them. You're investing. You're reducing your taxes, and that's leading to you saving lots of money. That lots of money that you're saving is the money you will invest. Right? You're not saving for a rainy day, like we've talked about before. That's a government war bond campaign from like the 1930s and 40s. It's super outdated. You're not saving for an emergency. You are saving for the purpose of investing for passive income. That is why you're saving. Okay, so you would continue these steps. So step number 12, you would reduce taxes. Okay, now here's another thing that's done backwards. And I'm telling you this because I've made all these mistakes, guys. You don't need to make the same ones I did. I used to try and reduce my taxes first because I was like, oh, I don't want Uncle Sam touching my money. I don't want them touching my money. So what I would do is I would take as much money as I could and put it into things that I couldn't touch so that Uncle Sam couldn't touch my money. So Uncle Sam now can't touch my money, but neither can I because my money is in a retirement account or it's in a tax reduction trust or it's somewhere where I can't actually use it to improve my quality of life. Now I have this stack of cards built based on tax planning, right? And my whole life is like locked up on, oh, I have to do this and I have to do that. And I feel like I'm like stuck. Okay, I went down that road. I hated it. I hated it. So what do I do now? I'll naturally lower my taxes through the way that I live my life. I will use good bookkeeping practices and accounting practices, but it's more important for me to increase my income. I will increase my income first. Is it true you can save money with tax reduction? Absolutely. Is it a great investment? Absolutely. It's almost like a guaranteed return, right? You know for sure what you're going to save. It's awesome. It's compliant with the tax code. You have CPAs and tax attorneys helping you. So it's like, okay, I put in 10 or 15 grand for a good tax plan and I might save, $75,000 this year, right? That's 7x return. 7x return, tax-free return, by the way, because the money I save on my taxes isn't taxed. I'm not going to get that anywhere, but that doesn't give me passive income and it doesn't make me wealthy. You see what I mean? So reducing taxes. Now, I would reduce taxes after I've already begun investing for passive income. We won't talk about today where we're going to invest for passive income. That can be a different video, but there are a number of good places and you should pick, 4 or 5 good ones, maybe less. I have 1, 2, 3. I have three of them right now. 4 of them actually. Yeah, 4, technically 5. I have 5 of them. 5 sources of passive income. That doesn't mean 5 investments. That means 5 different asset classes that pay me passive income every month, right? The average millionaire has 7 streams of income. So I have 2 active ones and I have 5 passive ones. I didn't do that on purpose. It's just I became a millionaire through one income stream and then I started doing other stuff once I got there, right? So plan for your passive income. Prior to be investing for your passive income, you would plan your next sacred account. Okay, so you should have multiple sacred accounts, not just one. Everything you save should flow through your sacred account first. So if you're increasing your savings rate because you're bringing it up to 40%, and then you're also increasing the amount of money you save because you're raising your income, you would be saving more and more every month, and you would be maxing out your sacred account. You would need to open another one. I have 6 of them. I'm getting ready to open up a 7th one soon. Okay, I talked to a client yesterday. They have 5 sacred accounts. Over the next 7 years, they will be able to put in $1 million into their sacred accounts. $1 million collectively. They've already got that figured out, guys. So then it's about, good, we put in the $1 million, we're going to borrow more than $1 million because it's been growing, and we're going to put that into things that pay us passive income. Okay, prior to planning your next sacred account, you would make profit on your current ones. Okay, and I see people make this mistake so much. Okay, they get the sacred account, they get the infinite banking concept, whatever it is they're doing, whoever they're doing it with, they put the money in there and then they freaking park it and don't do anything. They don't take a loan, or if they take a loan, they don't pay themselves back. And then they sit there and they analyze their dividends and they're like, why am I not making money? Because you're not using the vehicle. It's like you bought a Lamborghini, you parked it in the garage, you never drove it, and you're like, why is my Lamborghini never going anywhere with me? Because you don't get in the car and drive. Buying a Lamborghini doesn't mean you sit in the front seat studying the manual. You put the keys in the ignition and you pull out of the garage and you go drive it around. Otherwise, there's 0 point in you owning a Lamborghini. Just like if you're not going to take loans against your sacred account, there's not a reason you should own one. If you're going to take loans against your sacred account and you're not going to pay them back, there is 0 reason why you should own a sacred account. At least when you bank with someone else, even though it's terrible, at least you pay them back. All of a sudden, when you get to pay yourself back and make money on it, you're not going to? How much sense does that make? Okay, end of rant on that, right? But so make profit on the sacred account. Prior to that, establish and update your estate plan. Your estate plan, your asset protection plan, right? So what does that mean? And I'm actually going to add that in there. This is the beauty of having this on Adobe, right? I'm just going to put a real quick edit, update estate and asset protection plan, right? And these technically would be included, like you would do them both at the same time. But the estate plan, that's your will, that's your living will, that's what happens to the stuff after you die. Your trust, all of that, right? You should set that up before you start acquiring assets. Okay, the asset protection plan, that's your LLCs, that's your insurances, that's all of those types of things. Protecting your assets while you're living, right? Because something could happen while you're alive too. Okay, so you would set up the estate plan, you'd update the asset protection plan. Before that, you would do exactly what we're doing right now. You'd check off your blueprint progress. Which ones have I done? Which ones have I not done? What's my next one? Okay, before you update your blueprint progress, we are not going to talk to you about the blueprint if you don't have a sacred account. Doesn't mean you had to get it from us. The client that I have that has 5 of them, they didn't do any of those with us. They worked with an agent that thankfully knew what they were doing, set the policies up correctly, and they can integrate those in now with our strategy, right? But you would need to have a sacred account first. So obtain your sacred account, fund it, right? Then you'd update your blueprint progress. What's next in my strategy? Where do I attack? Okay. Then we go into, let's update the estate plan. Let's make profit on the sacred account we just took out. We're going to buy back debt. We're going to buy a car. We're going to invest. We're going to use it for tax reduction. Okay. Prior to obtaining and funding a sacred account, you would allocate a percentage of income to pay yourself first with your sacred account. The sacred account has to draft out of a bank account, right? That bank account, you would need to be setting the money aside into that first. So if you're paying yourself first with a percentage of your income, all of that saving would go into that bank account first, then your sacred account would draft from the bank account. When you issue a loan to yourself, the loan would go into that bank account. You would then transfer it where it needs to go, and then you would bring in income. A percentage of that income from whatever you use the loan for would go to your savings, go back into your bank account, which then goes into the sacred account either through a contribution or a loan repayment. Now here's the cool thing. Our VIP members, and we just started this program, okay? So we have a program for our VIP members that it is a savings account that they can use to put the money in until it goes in the sacred account. For married couples, up to $8 million FDIC insurance. For single individuals, up to $2 million FDIC insurance. And it is earning 5.5% right now, FDIC insured. Right? And they sweep the money around. So it's not sitting in one bank all the time. They look at who's got the least risk, who's got the best returns and rates, and we're going to sweep the money to that account this month. Then we might go to another one. Then we might go to another one. This product, the banking product I'm mentioning, that's going to be the account you put the money into that your sacred account drafts out of. Okay, so that's free to our VIP members. Okay, 5.5% FDIC insured, up to $2 million FDIC insurance for individuals, up to $8 million for married couples, right? So again, big reason to work with us. Prior to doing this, you would do what's called the Big 3 Challenge. Okay, the Big 3 Challenge is a 90-day challenge. Everybody does it. I do it. You should always do it. It should be a repeating thing. Every 90 days, you're doing a new one, okay? You're spending 10 minutes a day learning about finances. You can do that on Wealth Dynamics University or in Wealth Dynamics Nation, okay? You are doing something to earn additional income every day. And then you're rating your transactions on a 1 to 5 scale on a daily basis. 5 being important, 1 being dumb, and then you're returning them or canceling them accordingly so that you save more money. At the end of that 90 days, your income should be up, your financial IQ should be up, your savings should be up, you should have progressed on your blueprint. Every 90 days, boom, 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 boom. Okay? Now, prior to that, you would do a wealth potential analysis and you would do a passive income consultation, figuring out, well, how much passive income do I need? Right? And we would calculate that with you. You would see, okay, good, this is what I need. Here's how much I need. And once you've got that down, we'd say, good, so now you're going to train. We're going to increase the income. We're going to set up the sacred account. Do you see how this is like dominoes? We go through it. Prior to that, you would actually pass, we have free wealth guides in our Facebook group, Wealth Dynamics Nation. Okay? So you would pass all of our free wealth guides. Now, these are centered around goal setting. These are centered around planning. These are centered around discipline. These are centered around basic wealth laws. Like these are time-tested, proven things I've learned from studying the top 1%. Without fail, they're true. And so those are free. You would actually train on all of those first. You'd pass all of them. You would get up to par on that training. Prior to that, you would go through our recommended reading list. Okay, you would read, books like The Blueprint to Financial Freedom, or my book, How to Create Wealth, or How to Protect Against Bank Failures, right? The Man in the Arena, The Way to Happiness. Like these are all books that we recommend. I wrote the first 4. I did not write The Way to Happiness, but I have a copy of it that I've branded for my company and my brand because it's an important book about ethics and morals. And we have this idea, right? Like, oh, wealth might make me bad. What if I turn into a bad person because I built wealth? So The Way to Happiness is about how to stay good. The way to happiness. One of the precepts there is flourish and prosper. Build wealth. Do well financially, but keep in the other 20 or so precepts. And the ironic thing, guys, let me see if I have a copy of it. Yeah, so the ironic thing on The Way to Happiness, and I didn't even plan this. This is just how the thing turned out here. On The Way to Happiness, there's 21 precepts. Okay, on the Blueprint to Financial Freedom, there are 21 steps on the blueprint. Okay, so there would be, not saying each step goes with a precept, but there would be the same amount of precepts and steps. Okay, so here's what you would do, and this is what I'm doing. Most of these are repeating, so you'll see here, repeat steps number 3 through 12. So you would say, okay, what's step number 3? I've done step 1, I've done step 2. Okay, I need to update my wealth potential analysis and see where I'm at on things. I need to do my passive income number again and make sure it still works. Then I do the Big 3 Challenge. Let me increase my income. Let me get my savings rate up. Let me get my training under control with my finances. Let me allocate more money to my savings. Let me attain and fund a sacred account, right? We would then say, okay, good. Update the blueprint progress, update the estate plan and the asset protection plan, or establish them if we've not done them. Make money on the sacred account loan that we've done with the sacred account we just set up. Go through and start planning the next sacred account. As soon as you make profit on one location, plan your next location. When is that going to happen? Okay. Begin investing for passive income, reduce the taxes, achieve the 40% club. Then you would say, okay, good. So that's 3 through 12. I achieved this. I'm going to now restart. Go back. Number 3. And I would go all the way through all of these again until I'm at a $250,000 net worth. Once I'm at a $250,000 net worth, it says repeat number 3 through 13. So I would go, okay, good. Back to number 3. Let me do all of these again and do all of them again. It doesn't mean you're going to build another estate plan. It means you're going to update them. Check it out. Do we need to add an asset in? Did we have kids? Are we going to change things around at all? Right? And so we're going to go all the way again through to number 15. Okay, 15, I become accredited. Okay, so accredited, I get $1 million net worth. I'm now going to repeat 3 through 14. So I go back to number 3, all the way through again. I become accredited, whoop-de-doo, my next target, I need to become financially independent now. I'm gonna get there by repeating steps 3 through 15. Why? Because you probably need at least a $2 million net worth to get there. So you're gonna get accredited twice. Okay, so back to number 3. Boom, all the way through, we continue the steps. We get into step number 16, we're financially independent, right? So now we can start investing in accredited only opportunities. Okay, so you invest in accredited only opportunities. Now we repeat 3 through 17, which is gonna get us to the $5 million net worth. So we go 3 all the way through again. We're getting another $1 million net worth plus another one plus another one. We need 3 more of those to get to 5 million. Good, we've gotten to 5 million. Okay, next goal, $10 million net worth. Why? Because at 10 million, I can qualify to start a family office. Then I can invest in private equity and venture capital opportunities. So I repeat steps 3 through 18 in order to get there. So I go again back to step number 3. Boom, all the way through all of these again. And then I get to the point of $10 million net worth. Now I can check these off. I can start the family office. I can start doing private equity and venture capital opportunities. The good news is I'm already financially independent, and at a $10 million net worth, the average person is gonna have a lot of trouble going backwards. Even if the venture capital stuff doesn't work out, it's risky, it's whatever, you invest in the next Uber and it turns out to be a flop. I wonder how many companies tried to be Uber before Uber was Uber. But you've got everything handled up to step number 16. Okay, you're already financially independent. You're not ever gonna get worse. You don't need to go back to work if you lose money. See what I'm saying? So guys, this is the blueprint to financial freedom. And what I wanna highlight, and I kind of did this on purpose, I wanna highlight how monotonous I made this sound. Go back to step number 3 and then da-da-da-da-da, and you do that again, and then you get that done, and now you go back to step number 3, and then this is a system. It is a system. You repeat the successful things over and over and over and over and over and over and over. You don't try new stuff in the middle of this. You don't stop and take a break. You continue on the next step. If you're crossing a bridge, how do you do that? You put one foot in front of the next one. What's your next step? What's your next step? Get the next step done. Okay? Now, if you're watching this and you're interested in learning more about that, you can definitely grab the book, right? I mentioned Blueprint to Financial Freedom. Okay? That's going to give you the basics. And then you can go into Facebook, go to Wealth Dynamics Nation, join the group, hang out for a while, right? And here's the beautiful thing about the blueprint. You can start for free, right? If you want to work with us, great. But anybody can grab the books. The books are all free. Anybody can go into Wealth Dynamics Nation and pass the guides. Those are all free. Even step number 3 is free. Okay, now if you want to start working on the training and all the other stuff, yes, you'll have to pay us, but you can do step 1, step 2, and step 3 already. Get some direction, get some training, get some clarity, figure out if this is the right system for you, and if it is, plug right in. Let's make it happen, right? I talked to a client yesterday. It's a huge success story. Okay, they started working with me October or November of last year. And they were on the fence. They had lost money in a fraud case somewhere in Utah, some crazy guy doing a Ponzi scheme, right? And they were like, okay, we're dusting ourselves off. We're making this happen again. Since they started working with me, they have become accredited investors. Okay, that's November, December, January, February, March, April, May. That's 7 months, guys. 7 months. Okay, I've produced millionaire after millionaire in my career through what I teach. So I'm not telling you in 7 months you will, but I'm telling you that's a real story. That's a real couple that I worked with and spoke with yesterday, and they confirmed we were not accredited investors prior to working with you. After working with you and because of working with you, now you are. The husband literally said, I attribute it to working with you, right? So that is this week's Weekly Wealth Walk. For me personally, I'm doing the blueprint. My next step is that 5 million marker. And again, I'm starting on step number 3 and I'm working my way through. Right now, I'm on the part of updating my estate plan. I need to get that updated and then I'll continue on with my next steps as well. I know this was a longer video, guys, but I wanted to give you that quick update on the blueprint. That is the new and improved simplified version, a lot less confusing. Currently, it does not match what's in the book. Okay, and I'm not saying it doesn't match. It is the same steps, but the book goes into a lot more detail on what you do on each step. We're going to be doing some updating on the book. Get the book, but the one that I just showed you today, as far as your roadmap, that's the one you should be following. That's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next time on Weekly Wealth Walk. I want to thank you for watching my video. If you learned something from this, if it was value to you, what I'd like to do is I'd actually like to give you a free copy of my book, Blueprints Financial Freedom. This is perfect for those that are on my channel learning this stuff and you want to take it to the next level. So if you go to the link jerryfetta.com, just my first and last name, jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, or click the link in the description, grab a free copy, we'll send it out to you. Can't wait to get you a copy in your hands.